everyone, and welcome back to Animation Pilgrimage, where Sean and I take a look at every single theatrically released animated film in chronological order. I'm Tennille.
And I'm Sean, and today we are here in 1974 once again with a Japanese film from Group TAC. We have Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yep.
You know, classic story. Jack trades the cow for magic.
Classic story.
You know, Jack trades the cow that can no longer produce milk for magic beans that grow into a beanstalk. He climbs up, ends up in a kingdom in the sky. And then, you know, the usual points of there's an evil witch that turned the whole kingdom into mice, except for the princess who she's going to have her son marry. Her son is the giant, you know, as usual. There's, of course, the talking harp and the golden goose, which is actually a chicken. I mean, a lot of
golden chicken, golden goose.
A lot
whatever.
of people get that really confused. It's fine. And, you know, those two things play next to have nothing to do with the story at all, because it's all about the mice and the evil witch. And the evil witch wants the marriage thing so that she can be queen of the kingdom.
Even though there's nobody else.
Yeah, there's no one else in this kingdom because they're all mice now, but that's fine. And, you know, eventually the giant gets fed up with his mother and squashes her like the robot that she is.
Question mark.
I love that part of the movie.
Story.
The usual story.
The usual story.
Mm-hmm.
The one I was read every night. Yeah.
And then once the evil robot witch is destroyed, everyone returns to being humans and the castle is happy again. And then Jack is just an absolute asshole and enrages the giant, who seems to be placated. Calm down. Anyways, he enrages him and forces him down the beanstalk after him, where he chops it down, killing the giant and locking his way off from ever visiting the princess, who he kind of fell in love with, but she totally turned him down because she's like, I got a kingdom to rule. I don't have time for like a 5-year-old kid.
Yeah, plus she's like 15 and he's like 8.
You know, the usual story.
Okay, so joking aside.
That's the general plot synopsis of this version of the story. Oh, I guess I forgot to mention the part where the dog has a total
romance plot.
With
the mouse princess.
The girl that was turned into a mouse, who is not the princess because the princess was just hypnotized. This character just has a different character design than all the other mice people. It's weird.
And there's definitely a romance plot between the dog and the mouse girl going on for most of the film. But then when she turns into a girl, it's just like, oh, well, I'm a human now, so bye, dog.
I don't know. She still kind of has the hots for the dog, which is really not
really
okay.
Weird, yeah.
If we're being real honest here.
The dog also randomly speaks at some point.
He doesn't speak, he sings.
He sings.
He sings an entire song.
He sings a ballad.
And then
about his love for the mouse girl.
And how Jack is an asshole and won't go save people.
Yeah.
And then Jack's like, Did you just sing? And then Jack's like, you know what? I'm gonna go save the princess.
Dog's like, okay, Shaggy.
Okay, Shaggy, let's go.
Let's go.
Ruby-dooby-doo.
So, yeah, that's basically the movie. It's not great, but it's... I don't know. It's kind of interesting because...
I have some high and low points for this one.
Yeah. It's not all bad, but it's definitely not all good. We had to watch the English sub of this versus a...
Dub.
The English dub of this versus an English sub.
We couldn't find any subs, which is a shame because
I think this would have worked better
in the original Japanese, because the voice acting wasn't super great. But even more so, the music was terrible.
Oh, the music was so bad.
So, like, I'm guessing the original music worked better.
Hopefully.
Again, we'll never know at this point.
There is some 70s synth going on in this film, and it does not let up. It is very jarring. On top of that, this film has a really creepy atmosphere to it. And it's not there until you get to the Kingdom in the Sky. And I don't know if it's just the film doesn't handle it very well, or the English dub kind of ruins the tone of the film. But, like, it feels unintentionally creepy when I know it's meant to be intentionally creepy. Like, it just doesn't do anything with the creepiness going on.
Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be weird and creepy, but doesn't really pay off on any of it. It's strange.
Yeah. I am 100% convinced that someone at TAC was like, yeah, you remember Puss in Boots? What a fun, giant-killing movie that was, with an animal sidekick and all that.
And how it made lots and lots of money for Toei Animation?
Yeah, let's do that.
We're starting our own studio. We can do that because, yes, this is the first movie from this studio. And the only other thing that they've done up to this point also starts in this year.
They do Spaceship Yamato.
Yeah.
Or... am I saying that? Space Battleship Yamato.
Yeah, Space Battleship Yamato, which is a groundbreaking drama anime that starts in that year.
So, I mean, good on them for moving on to something better than this, because, yeah, this ain't it. But that's okay. They find their footing somewhere else. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to say about this movie.
I guess we could touch on, like, the animation itself and stuff.
Okay.
I think the art direction is fairly well done. The animation is fluid, but almost always it feels too slow.
Well, I think this film just feels dated. It feels like a toy film from, like, the 50s or 60s.
And not the 70s.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that.
This is like pre-Horus toy film. We could have watched this. If we watched this film before we saw Horus, like, I wouldn't have questioned its placement at all.
No, of course not. I guess...
the 70s synth would have thrown me for a loop in the 50s.
Well, yeah.
But other than that, like, it really just kind of feels outdated by this point.
Yeah, you are not wrong. I'll also say I appreciate that they added to the plot, but also the changes they added to the plot complicated the ending.
Right, I mean...
like, it didn't feel like they needed to kill the giant, except for the fact that you always kill the giant in...
Jack and the
Beanstalk.
Yeah.
So they had to
Jack and the
do that.
Like a lot of fairy tales, they're not long enough to be movie length. So you've got to add something to pad it out. Otherwise, your movie is going to be paced horrendously slow. So
I mean, this still was paced horrendously slow.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Check it out if you want. It's not terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely... like I said, it's kind of dated, though. So, like, if you're looking for something that fits this era of animation, like, it's best to just kind of, like, go back and watch some of those old toy films. And then, like, Group TLC moves on to do better... TAC moves on to do better stuff, so... I don't know.
Honestly...
like, I think this is pretty skippable.
Yeah, honestly, if you want to check out some Group TAC stuff, just watch some Space Battleship Yamato. Because I've watched a bit of it, and it's pretty good. And we'll be talking about it here on Animation Pilgrimage whenever they do the wrap-up movies.
Well, I think that's actually not too far ahead in the future.
Okay, so that might be this year or the next year or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows? So yeah, we'll be talking about that then. as compared to whenever we talk about television shows of the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know when that'll be happening. Probably closer to the end, and I don't know how we're going to handle that.
Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway.
Television shows are complicated.
Yeah.
Either way, that seems like pretty much it for this episode.
Mm-hmm. So next time, we have another Hallison Bachelor film.
Yes, we do.
It is The Glorious Musketeers. So see you guys for that one.
All right.
No one's happier than I feel like reaching up to touch the sky. I'm riding on